Okay, so in here, in this Miro board, you'll see there's this thing called worksheet components, and this lists all the different components that need to be designed. So the true false statements is what I designed in Figma. If I find Figma, yeah, so these, I started designing these components, right? So the true and false options. So if I go back here, you can see my sister's created these. So I've done the first three, and then, there's more. There's obviously more that need to be done. So all of the different components have been listed here in all these different examples. So your goal is to basically design each of these components using the proper auto layout and everything in Figma, because this is what the dev team is using to build out the components on their side. So that's the content, and then there's the design. So the design itself, I've just done a pretty crappy example here of a design, just to show, like, essentially we need to customize the styling to make it look nice for a kid to use, to do. So as far as how that works, we need to basically create multiple styles. I'm just wondering where it is. So there's an option basically to choose a style and apply a style to this particular design. But I think I don't, or maybe I've hidden it. No, menu. Ah, there you go. Okay, for some reason this was hidden. So if I click on this modify design, then we're gonna allow the user to make some changes to the styling, but it should be very curated. So this is what you're seeing here basically is the old design that the previous UX designer created, and but you can get an idea of how the styling's supposed to work here. So basically we will create these palettes, these color palettes that they can choose from, and then it's gonna update the design to reflect the palette. Same with the text. So if I can choose the font to use, and it's going to update the worksheet design to use this font. But here it's just written like a kind of typical font selection, but actually it's a style. So we need to think of it as a style, because for example, the title font might use Happy Monkey, but then the body will be using something more legible. So yeah, essentially, if I go back to this again, if I click on modify design, it's going to open a modal, and then I'm going to be able to choose the color palette as well as the font palette, if you will, a font palette. So I think the first thing to do is just design all the components, and then the second thing to do is go in and design the same components with multiple styles, so that we can visualize how applying a particular style is going to impact the design of the worksheet. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, please ask some questions.